Okay, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Illusion Fox Gaming. We are going to continue on with the MSQ, starting with where everything crashed on us yesterday. Um, Hopefully it goes a little bit better today. Uh, though I don't know if right now whether or not we lost that cutscene or not. So let's dive on in and see where we get to. So this is the village of Ilyanaso, or what's left of it. It was a place of light and life. My great-grandfather called it home, in fact. Looks like we didn't lose it, so awesome. Yokivu, I didn't know you were in Yoktel. I was picking up lumber from Brock's when I heard the third promise was on our way to this site of deep historical significance. I immediately saw another opportunity to be of service and so followed you here. Yokivu was a shipwright who came to our aid during the feat of reeds. A pleasure. You remember the third promise's routine, I presume? For the moment, I suppose I am. My name is Koana. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Koana, now that's a good name. Familiar name. Where have I heard? Koana, as in the second promise of Tuliol? I think that I addressed the dawnservant's own son as some common retainer. Such disrespect cannot be excused. Please take up your gun and... Oh, come on, not this again. I take no offense, so please do not dwell on it. Alright then, I shan't dwell on it. And right on cue, at least he's consistent. I understand you wish to learn about Xibrik Pabil. While I am forbidden by the Brash Raj to divulge any information regarding its preparation, I would be happy to share what I know of Yoktel's history. We'd appreciate that. In its most basic sense, the conflict between the Zbral and Mumuja was one of land. The Mumuja live in the lower forest, where the thick canopy obscures the sun and the soil is unforgiving to crops. This drove them to covet the upper forest, the home of the Zbral, and they launched a determined campaign to seize it for themselves. Yet advantage ever favors higher ground, and the Zbral forces held the upper hand against the invaders, rebuffing them time and again. As I say, this village would attest, the tide eventually turned. What brought it about? Something you know all too well. Blessed siblings. Let's understand, the Moonjar were once a people as much at war with themselves as they were with others. The Hobigo, Bunwa, and Dopro each sought to assert dominance over the other, even as they engaged this brawl in battle. In an effort to strengthen bonds and discourage infighting, Hobigo and Bunwa leaders arranged a marriage between their children. However, this political measure altered the course of history in ways no one else could have ever imagined. It was long believed that partners of differing clans could not have children together. But then it happened, a child arrived who shared the blood of Hobigo and Bunwa both, a two-headed Mumulja. Blessed with tremendous physical strength and magical prowess, he grew into a mighty warrior before eventually arising as the first autarch ruler of all three clans. Such qualities would dispose anyone to leadership, character notwithstanding. Under the autarch's rule, the newly united Mumulja became a force to be feared, and the war soon came to a head. I think best you see the results firsthand. Let us visit another battlefield from that time, and there I shall continue the tale.
This is where most battles were fought between the Shabral and Mamulja, the Shobrit Cinderfield.
A field of cinders, indeed. How fierce their clashes must have been.
The war over these lands began after the Yoqui's departure some 500 years ago. And for 4 centuries thereafter, the two enemies repaid violence with violence. A constant stream of minor skirmishes, punctuated by massive slaughter.
Until Father ended their endless conflict 80 years ago.
Accompanied by a retinue of only 6, the dawnservant opposed both armies and brought the fighting to a standstill.
First they sealed Valley Armanda at full strength, and now this.
It was during this armistice that both sides gathered for negotiations at the dawnservant's behest.
Hopefully they listened. Though I doubt they did.
For too long, you have been bound by your ancestors' violent legacy. It is past time you broke free of it.
Tell that to the Scale Scum! We fight to protect what is rightfully ours. If not for their greed, we'd be living in peace.
Puff your tails and scurry off, then! Cowards like you ill deserve the bounty of this forest. Even should one of you succeed in vanquishing the other, your triumph will last only until a new invader arrives. Tell me, do you know of the vast continent that lies far to the east, where numerous nations vie for dominance? You do not. And why should you? Affairs beyond the salt we have no intention to cross are of no consequence to us. Not until those affairs come to Tural, like our honored visitor here.
He's from across the ocean.
I've been to the ocean before, and it's nothing but water farther than the eye can see. What sort of vessel could possibly reach its end?
The one that brought him here.
That such technology exists is indisputable, as is foreign powers' awareness of Tural. If any such country were to develop a taste for Turali soil and bring to bear the might of innovations we can only imagine, what do you suppose happens then? You do not know the warlords of the East, but you know that if they came, they would not settle for a single forest. By joining hands, we might create a unified front, an alliance capable of repelling them or any other foe. There is no greater proof of these than my companions and I. Alone we are weak, but together we triumphed over Valigarmanda. What? You defeated the Sky Ruin?
I'd take you for a liar if the sting of our own defeat wasn't still fresh.
Their coordination was indeed impressive. How the Pelu stymied our efforts to cripple the Yokui's legs and defend our ballistas. And when we withdrew to strike again from a distance, the Hanu called the winds to make our arrows miss their marks. In seeking to exploit their weaknesses, we only subjected ourselves to their strengths.
Those strengths are born of cooperation. The guiding principle of the nation we envision.
But our feud has lasted for centuries. How do you expect us to join hands now?
Ha ha! Give us an evening to convince you.
And so began that legendary banquet. One would not expect sworn enemies to abruptly drink to each other's health, and, indeed, a tense silence hung over the venue. But then, the dawnservant called for the exchange of traditional cuisine. So it was that the Mamulja partook of spiced meat, and the Chebral steamed najul. Before long, delight manifested upon the faces of those present, each side impressed by the other's dish. Seeing this, the dawnservant laughed and declared once more. Their flavors, he said, would be even better combined, and he proceeded to help them prepare the new creation.
That's Shibruk Pibil, I'd wager.
It is a marriage of Chebral and Mamulja cultures, and proof of their newfound cooperation. The dawnservant had asked for a single evening, but the feasting is said to have lasted 3 days and 3 nights. So delicious was their repast. In the end, a peace accord was reached, and the dawnservant's words at that time still illuminate our way forward.
Ignorance begets a strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Sorry.
Sure you are.
It's just to think that he ended an age-old conflict with food. It's all so absurd. It's somehow so very papa, I couldn't help but laugh.
Ignorance begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Now then, I trust you understand the significance of Shibruk Pibil and the history it has written.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing the story with us. What's wrong? Someone was there, you say?
Perhaps our competition is cooking up some scheme or another.
Something bitter and half-baked, no doubt.
Probably not far off the mark. Papa really did live up to his words. He traveled the land and learned about our people's myriad cultures. We're doing the same now. Bananas still weigh heavily upon Kuana's mind. Yakivu has given us valuable insight into the origins of Zabruk Pabil. However, we are still no closer to procuring the necessary nodule and leaves, unless... Tell me, was that historic feat commemorated in some fashion with a monument, for instance? Indeed it was. Allow me to show you. This one again. Offered up by two factions, these weapons symbolize their vow that they would never again raise arms against each other. Since this feat demands a journey through history, I thought it only logical that a monument like this might steer us true. Especially one at the heart of so significant a battlefield. Lamati, Kieran, would you help me search the area for clues? Tell me if anything catches your eye. Sure thing. Look here, this soil has been recently overturned. Oh, someone buried a box. Oh, well, I would have been satisfied to find only a hint, but here they are. They are fresh nodule leaves. Hunmo Rook's doing, I'd wager. There's poetry in hiding them on this battlefield, given that it was central to the war they helped end. So he planned all this from the start. Thank you again, Yokivu. We wouldn't have found these leaves without your help. It was my honor to render assistance. With apologies to present company, allow me to offer my encouragement as well. Third promise, ever since I witnessed your performance in the feat of reeds, I have been certain that you are the claimant most worthy of leading our nation. I'll devise solutions to the Hanu Hanu's ailing crops, but you alone sought to know their culture and revive Ihihana, even if it seemed unrelated to your task. In my humble opinion, no one cares more for the people of Tulial and what they hold dear. Should you again require the historical musings of an old shipwright, I am ever at your service. For now, I take my leave. I cannot argue with that. We have what we need. Let's return to Igbraos. I'm glad we were successful. The others should be back soon, I expect. I hope so. I'm famished. Excuse me. How did everyone fare? We got the nodule leaves. Yokivu came along and helped us find them. Yokivu was here? I would have liked to say hello. Yes, he gave us an important history lesson. That Gulu Jaja brought an end to centuries of warfare surprises me little, but to achieve said peace through cuisine is something else entirely. Leave it to my old man to find the oddest of solutions. How about the rest of you? Is our kitchen ready? Everything should be in order. Oriange and I made another tour of the village and borrowed the cooking utensils we need. With not much of what we needed them for, of course. I'm pleased to report that we are stocked with the finest firewood this forest had on offer. Spoken like a true expert. Aaronville now found our brook, so we should have meat aplenty. It was a spirited creature, so much so that its hunter fell down a cenote trying to catch it. Well, Parv, never speak of this to anyone. Did you not understand? I picked a good portion of local herbs with particular attention to the seeds that yield achiote. I'm told our residents asked religion to find the appropriate measurements for the seasonings as well. Through further inquiry did I determine the ideal balance of spices. Then all that remains is to prepare the dish itself. I presume that at least one among us is versed in the culinary arts? I can hardly claim profound skill, but I've cooked for myself. You can leave the rest to me. Let's try and catch that. And you, I hope, as I recall, you are an accomplished culinarian. Oh, my mouth is watering already. Without further delay, then.
Oh, it smells so good.
Good, there is still time. I shall prepare our sample at once.
At first, I wasn't sure about being stuck with the one head. But better that than playing nanny to the mewling house cat.
Be quiet, Bakul Jaja. No one cares what you think.
Act tough all you like. Victory will be ours.
It's ready. Apologies for the wait. We submit to you our Shibruk Pibil.
This looks amazing.
They did look good.
The dish is prepared by using the culinary techniques of the Mamulja to cook the spiced meats favored by the Jabral. It is a symbol of peace between their two peoples after centuries of war.
Both the ingredients and your methods appear to have been correct. Now then.
Seemed so small in his hands.
In taste, texture, and aroma, you have recreated Shibruk Bibil admirably. Granted, anyone might well achieve similar results by following the recipe to the letter. But you went a step further. You sought to learn the cultural significance of the dish, about Yoctel's history of violence and your father's role in ending it. Your willingness to take lessons from the past befits aspiring dawnservants. And for that, I commend you. All that remains is to partake of your creation. True understanding is gained only through experience.
Now this is something I'm definitely good at.
Ahem. I believe we have yet to receive our assessment. Ours is also a faithful example of Shibruk Pibil, as you will no doubt agree.
I see. While your effort looks the part, unlike the second and third promises dish, it lacks its defining aroma.
Preposterous! The meat was marinated and spiced before being steamed in an earthen oven. This is Shibruk Pibil.
But not the right spices.
Oh? And what about the Jatika banana leaf?
It's because of you that we couldn't get any damn leaves. You can't fault us.
We got him.
But the second and third promises had no such difficulty, did they? That which they needed, they acquired simply by showing interest in our history and heritage.
Ugh, it's just some crusty old leaf. What difference could it make?
A lot.
Your dish lacks an essential ingredient. As you have failed to demonstrate an adequate understanding of Shibruk Pibil, I must deem your performance unsatisfactory. Your team will not receive keystones.
This was stupid anyway.
His ambition only grows more intense. That someone could harbor such dark thoughts towards family.
Thing is, I don't think he thinks of her or Koana as family.
What do I care for this sham of a feat? I can always take what I need later.
This is delicious! The brook is so tender it melts in your mouth, and the way the najou leaf rounds out these spices is sublime. This is the taste of harmony. Someone who only knows brute force and deception could never appreciate it.
choke on your harmony.
Come, come. Finish your meal. That too is part of the feat.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Didn't figure he needed to.
Ah, that was bliss. You've got real culinary talent. If you ever tire of adventuring, you can always be my personal chef.
It was palatable enough, I suppose. To you, who have successfully performed the feat of repast, I present these keystones.
Only 1 feet left.
Well, I should get going then. I'm glad that I wasn't paired with one of the others.
We can do better than that, surely.
We can do better than that, surely.
The 6th keystone is ours. Thanks for all your help, everyone. I forgot something important. Was there any shipwreck people left? I could really use another helping.
That was so good. I'm already looking forward to having Zabrik Fabil again. Here, Crowell made more using leftover ingredients. You'll love it. Thinking to buy more for the road myself. Now that the feat of repast is over, the villagers should be free to offer it to us, right? Next feat awaits, and Alphinaud would have you on the road as soon as possible. Seeing as we now face the penultimate objective of the rite, it would be wise to travel to Mamook and to undertake the feat of the Brotherhood without delay. Wise, yes, but impossible. The Twinebeck Traverse, which connects the upper forest to the Jatika heartland, is still impassable. Is there no other route? Afraid not. Work to clear the path is underway, though, so I'm hopeful we can resume our journey soon. And let's each use this time as we see fit. I, for one, would like to explore the village's surrounds. If Aaronville would oblige me with a tour. Very well, I have no other engagements. Then I will come with you, if only to prove that I'm capable of keeping my footing. Though I shouldn't rejoice in our delay, it does afford me an opportunity to look into my grandfather's purported visit to Yoctel. Oh, that's right. Mablu did say something about a foreign mage coming through here decades back, didn't she? I'll come with you. Want to join us? Let's reconvene here after our respective diversions. As I recall, the merchant met my grandfather at market in Yoctel some 20 years ago. Any who might reliably remember him therefore be at least middle-aged. Let's make the inquiries where we can. Excuse me. A foreign mage? 20 years ago? Yes, I remember him. It's not often we get visitors from across the salt, let alone those traveling with infants. A baby girl, as I recall. I saw him in passing mind. If anyone were to know more, I'd wager it'd be Hunmu Rook. He was already Rock's Rosh then. Baby girl? It couldn't have been. Thank you, sir. That information is very helpful. Okay. So Krell's already been here, apparently. Too young to remember it, but... Hello again. Do you require assistance? Foreign mage passed through Ibras roughly 20 years ago, possibly carrying a child. Do you remember him? Why do you ask me this? Who is this man to you? He may have been my grandfather, and I wish to know what brought him here. Your grandfather? Not by blood, but he has family nonetheless. A foreign mage did indeed visit Ibras. Master Galuf. So far as his identity is concerned, I trust you are satisfied? More than that, however, I cannot say. Why not? I simply cannot. I beg your forgiveness and understanding. Very well, I will not press. Thank you for confirming this presence here. The rest I will discover myself. Out of more general curiosity, I have another question. They say the Yakoi once dwelled in these forests. Where was that exactly? General curiosity indeed, but yes, before they withdrew to Urkupacha, some 5 centuries ago, the Yakoi claimed Yoctel as their own. Many of their architectural remains can be found in the lower forests, the Jatika heartland. And that's where they must have had their visions. Thank you, that answers much and more. I understand what it means to long for one's family, so believe me when I say that, though my position forbids me from aiding you further, I wish you nothing but success. By helping the Third Promise find the Golden City, you will surely find the answers to your questions. Saying which, I have a query of my own for you. May I request a moment of your company? Go on, we'll wait for you. Thank you for obliging me. First, let's head to the Cenete behind this village. It was my intention to see you off without saying anything, but Mistress Krau's plea has softened my resolve. As a leader of our community, I am glad to see that the Third Promise has surrounded herself with such compassionate and trustworthy companions. Would you tell me of her journey thus far? Is that so? It seems the raid has been a source of great... Oh, hey, Garnet! Thank you for the raid. How are you today? Not too much. I haven't seen you in a while. Hopefully you've been doing well. I'll give you a little shout out there. Actually, no, that was the wrong shout out command. And hey, Nix, haven't seen you in a while either. Good to see you too. Is that so? It seems the rite has been a source of great learning and growth for Waklama. Ooh, I'm sorry. Hopefully it settles down here. Does me well to hear that. Well, sorry, just saying what his... That you're not feeling well is not something good. My daughter would be about her age. Girls are rarely born amongst this brawl, so when she arrived, the village was elated. Such joy I felt when I held her, and pain when I found her at the bottom of a cenote. Yeah, unfortunately that happens. I get it entirely. 3 years old. An accident was said, but I knew better. She had been pushed. Though we never caught them, a suspicious figure was seen fleeing towards the Jaktika heartland, towards Mamuk. Once bitter enemies, the Mumujal and Zbral had learned to live in peace. But who could doubt the intent of such a reprehensible act? By targeting the child who would one day lead her people, the criminals sought to undermine the future of this brawl. I was determined not to let them succeed, so I let the memory of my daughter die in that cenote, and gave her into the care of the one person I knew who could protect her. Dawnservant Galul Jaja. Oh, Waklama is that child. Interesting. No, I get that entirely. I've been so busy, it's like I haven't really had enough time to both indulge myself with my love of gaming and reading and writing. Unfortunately, my reading and writing have suffered for it. So she was born to lead this brawl. Fate had a greater plan for Waklama. Only the dawnservant I know the truth, but I must now take you into my confidence for one reason. If the villain who attempted the murder of my daughter was indeed of Mumuk, then rancor towards this brawl still burns. I was caught off guard once. I will not suffer the same tragedy again. And so I ask you, not as a dawnservant's elector, but as a father, to watch over the Third Promise, defend her from her enemies that may be lurking in shadow. Will you do this for me? I'll do the best I can. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart. I figured at some point we'd figure out who Waklama's real parents were. Will you hear my question and answer me plainly? Address me not as the ruler of Tulial, but a concerned father. Suffice it to say, this conversation must remain between us. Pray breathe not a word of this to anyone. Suffice it... I already read that line. It didn't click into the next one. Hate when it does that. What Oh, I forgot. Garnet said that they'd be right back. But we're working. We did roulettes earlier, so now we're just trying to go through and get through some more of the new MSQ for Dawntrail here. It's kind of nice and relaxed, and I mean, it's not as drama filled and as explosive in action as some of the last couple of expansions. But it's kind of that nice kind of, let's go hang out on the beach, we'll maybe play some games, that sort of thing. Hanma Rook stands quietly, his expression one of old pain. Recalling the past has rendered me emotional. Require a moment to compose myself, but please, do not keep the third promise waiting. And I think I'm just about maybe getting close to a new thought I'd had of doing a... Okay, sleep well. Hopefully work doesn't goes... I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this. Hopefully work goes well and you don't get overburdened. You're back, so what did Hanmu Rooks want? That's a secret. That's alright, you don't have to say. More importantly, the Tyenbeck Traverse still isn't clear yet. Something about even more rocks? I think I'll take the opportunity to rest. All that cooking and preparing for it has worn me out. A nap does sound tempting. A moment, promise. You're one of Bakul Jaja's. What do you want? Come to fetch you. You're welcome to refuse, but know that would be most unwise. And why's that? I'm sure your solid friend has an idea. What do you think? And they say house cats don't come when called. Follow me, promise. Yep, she gets kidnapped as much as Menphilia. Which Menphilia had the possibility of being such a great and interesting character, but she just kept having that whole damsel in distress story that they kept running for
What
her.
is the meaning of this? And just how far do you plan on taking us?
And so far, they're kind of doing that same thing to her. Or at least a similar story with her.
Oh, Morok! Bakuljaja, you snake! If you want my keystone so badly, you deal with me and me alone. Leave the Elector out of this.
Is that all you think he is? Foolish kitty! This man is the reason we are here. take a good look at him. Go on. Look. Surely you recognize your real father.
Don't believe us? Then ask your trusted sellsword. She heard it straight from the old man's mouth.
Is it true? Is Humuruk my... Your silence says it all.
Yeah, we don't ever speak. So why
Now that you understand
when
the
in Destiny 2 when
let's
our
see
guardian
those key
finally
stones.
spoke, it was just so
I'll even
shocking.
let you fight for them. Just you and me. If that adventurer attempts to interfere, I'll kill the old man myself!
You despicable, heartless fiend! Kinsman or no, I won't stand for you taking hostages! Come on then! You wanna fight? I'll give you a fight!
Oh, such heroic caterwauling promise. I'm shaking. Guard our hostage well. We wouldn't want to attempt any thoughts of rescue. By the by, house cat, they've been instructed to put down Papa Dearest when you lose. Hopefully he settled his affairs.
Don't worry. I'm not losing to the likes of him.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Well, what are you waiting for, you blessed bastards? It's 2 against 1. Don't tell me you're scared.
I know I didn't hear you right. You think this weakling could hurt me?
You're too overconfident.
Kill you, kill you, kill you all! Don't look away, son. I want you to watch as I tear your beloved promise to shreds!
Hey, eyes on me. The house cat, remember? I'll say it again. I'm not losing to the likes of you. I'm going to become dawnservant, and I will protect my people!
Okay, let's see how well this is going to go.
Come, you mangy house cat, so I can rip you to pieces! I'll cut you to shreds!
My magic should be more than enough for Miss Mittens.
you eat dirt!
No more tricks, Bakulchaja. We're settling this here and now.
Still playing the part of the brave warrior? Miss Mittens is no longer amusing me, brother.
This rite has taught me so much. About my nation, my people, and myself.
What? Can't keep up?
Damn, I didn't make it there in time. Oh, that's what I should have done.
How do you
Use
like
that.
this?
Hey, Croy! Thank you for the raid.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
I'm guessing this one, actually. Yep, another raid. And welcome back, Garnet. Fuck! I should have been moving me before that point. What were you streaming here tonight, there, Garnet? I know what Croy was.
To greet each day in safety and happiness.
Irritating pest!
And I'll give you a shout out here in a little bit there, Croy.
This is the end for you, kitten.
Ow. Or you can just do it yourself. That works too.
Know your place.
Shit. It's gonna launch me back. Fuck, that bleed's gonna kill me. Damn it. Yeah, I know. Ooh.
Come, you mangy house cat, so I can rip you to pieces. I'll cut you to shreds. My magic should be more than enough for Miss Mittens. I'll make you eat dirt.
No more tricks, Bakulchaja. We're settling this here and now.
Still playing the part of the brave warrior?
Shit, 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 shit.
Miss Mittens is no longer abusing me, brother.
This rite has taught me so much. About my nation, my people, and myself.
What? Can't keep up.
That went better that time.
How do you like this? Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
I finally understand what it means to live in peace. To greet each day in safety and happiness.
Irritating pest!
It's
Come
time
on.
we finished her, brother.
This is the end for you, kitten. Know your place.
It's not enough to claim the title of dawnservant. I must carry on Papa's legacy, his love for our people.
I'll grind you beneath my heel.
Shit.
What? Can't keep up.
This is much longer than it should have any need to be.
Leave it up, son. Why won't you die? Fine. I'll show you the true power of the blessed.
I will be the next dawnservant, and I'll protect my people's happiness to the last. That's when there's no way I'll ever lose to the light of you.
What was that, like limit break level 4?
I can't stand it anymore! Attack! This is our fight! Stay out of it! You bring shame upon us. You
You think we care about your stupid pride? This is for Mamuk! We cannot lose!
Oh-ho! The great Bakul Jaja needs help, I see. Send your whole army. You still won't win. I will prove
That was the
my
wrong time to
allies are
move
right
through
to
all that.
believe in me.
Such confidence! What changed? She wasn't like this before!
That finish was actually rather satisfying. Ooh. Hopefully we catch that. That'd be a nice have.
I reclaim what you stole.
No. How can this be? How could that puny house cat beat all of us?
You've caused nothing but trouble with your dirty tricks. Threatening the Hanu, releasing Valyarmanda, harassing me is one thing, but you've endangered too many innocents. No more, Bakul Jaja. I will not stand for it. If you even think of tormenting my people again, you will answer to me.
That's the way to take charge.
No. No.
What the fuck?
And he goes and forgets he had the way blocked.
What? That was his doing?
The only part left in the saga is the Lay of the Brotherhood in Mamuk. The plan was to force you here so we could take the rest of your keystones.
So that's what he was up to. But, should you be telling us this?
Probably not. But with his leader gone.
Does it matter? You've beaten
Okay,
us.
well,
It's over.
sleep well, Garnet. Thanks for stopping by.
We'll release the hostage.
But, oh yeah, I was going to say, I think I'm getting to a point where I actually have enough, might have enough, cards I need to draw that I might actually do a stream for that here some point soon.
I'm sorry. I was careless.
Are you alright? So what Bakul Jaja said about you and me.
But to single-handedly defeat Bakul Jaja, you truly are the dawnservant's daughter. It has been my honor to bear witness to your journey. Promise.
Promise. Yes. That's what I am. I'm Kulul Jaja's daughter, and Tulihyolal's next dawnservant.
It's kind of like she's just ignoring this fact. And yes, to streaming for 10 hours straight,
Come on.
that is
Let's
incredibly
rejoin the others.
exhausting. I mean, there's certain things that can happen that's like gives you a lot more energy to do it, but it is still a very exhausting endeavor. Although I do owe a long stream at some point here as well. Though, I was thinking about, since my birthday's later this month, I might do like an all-day stream then. Don't know of what, but... Since we were last returned, I'm glad everyone made it back safely. Thank you for having faith in me. Keeping out of the fight even when it got dirty couldn't have been easy for you. But Bakul Jaja won't be the last person to threaten those I care about. I wanted to prove to myself that I can stand up to such villains, even when I stand alone. Which isn't to say I won't ask for your help when I need it, of course. I know better than that now. I don't know, we'll see. If it's still 2 weeks out, so... Okay. Again, have a good night, Garnet.
The passage to Mamuk remains blocked. For now, all we can do is try to rest and recover. Perhaps with a meal, as my sister would no doubt suggest. Shall we borrow the kitchens and prepare some Shibruk Bibil?
So thou hast taken a liking to the dish. As we learn to appreciate the unfamiliar, 'tis only natural that we develop new affinities. There is no shame in this.
But there is in ignorance. I had barely considered what the people of Tuli Yolal hold dear. What hopes they harbor for the future. Our nation is built upon the bonds that Father forged during his journey across Tural. But so single-minded have I been in my advocacy of foreign innovations that I fail to understand my own people. Could someone who struggles to connect with the populace ever make a worthy dawnservant?
To understand and connect with people is by no means easy. But there is something you can do to pave the way. Let them see you for who you really are. What makes you laugh and cry and rage. That sort of honesty is the first step towards mutual understanding and connection.
Understanding begets fellowship, as my father said. And yet, what you suggest does not come naturally to me.
I, too, have found it difficult to speak from the heart. In thy struggles, I see mine own, painful in their familiarity. Yet frightening though it may feel, if we are to move forward, we must indeed take that first step. Dispense with pretense,
and simply be.
Do you remember when you first approached us, and we asked you why you wanted to become dawnservant? You said you wished to use the knowledge you acquired in Sharlayan for your country, and in doing so repay your father for the opportunities he afforded you. What won me over was not your ambition, but your motivation. So let your people know this, and in time, they'll come to support you as we do. You can't hide behind that stoicism forever.
Well, that doesn't mean he's not going to try.
Very well then. I will make a greater effort to be myself. By not being my usual self so much.
Yuk-Lamal wishes to know how traversable the Tynebeck Traverse is. So what's the state of the Tynebeck Traverse? Still being cleared, I'd assume Hunmo Rook said he would notify us as soon as work was done. And perhaps now would be a good time to consider how we might reclaim Yuk-Lamal's stolen keystone. The next feat will be our last, after all. Oh, I already got it back. Oh, what? When? Not to mention how. This is Baku Jaja we're talking about. She kicked his ass. So I taught him a lesson and took my keystone back. You bested Baku Jaja on single combat? Bravo. He wasn't really single, he brought in a bunch of his friends. What can I say? I've had a good friends to encourage and cheer me on. There you are. Our excavators have contacted me with news of their success. The Tynebeck Traverse is now safe for travel. Then we can finally move. Then we finally can make for Mamook. Come to think of it, isn't Bakul Jaja's home? We can only hope its residents don't share his winning personality. If it is indeed the city where Kettenram first met the dawnservant, surely some civility awaits us. I would not be so certain. It is true that the dawnservant received Kettenram and Mamook and was instrumental in the establishment of friendly relations between the Zbral and Mamuja. But since that time, most of the Mamuja who supported his peace have left their city in favor of abiding in the capital. What remains is a cloister of Mamook, and while these traditionalists do not take up arms against us, neither do they bear great love for outsiders. Whatever they're like, the people of Mamook are also of Tulial. If I'm to be dawnservant, it's my job to know them first of all. Well, we'll be on our way then. I'm glad I could learn about where I came from. I need so much because of Rook Pabil besides. Thank you for everything, Hanmu Rook. Till next time, take care. First, we'll make our way across the exuberant cinder field, due southeast. How you have grown indeed. Let's see here. Oh, that's a hunt. Too bad I can't solo these A-ranks. I tried, but I'd fail miserably. I don't have any level 100 gear. Even then, I probably still wouldn't be able to do it. No, Croy and some of my other friends, they'd probably be able to do it, and they'd laugh at me for being so bad, but... The traverse will bring us straight into the Jatika heartland. Remember how you insisted this forest is green? I almost thought that was a boar sitting in front of me. The path is quite steep, isn't it? Let's take our time to descend safely. I choked one of the excavators on my way down. Apparently Bako Jaja cleared away the one fallen tree remaining by barreling through it. That Yuck Lamar single-handedly defeated someone possessed of such physical might is nothing short of remarkable. So we ought to proceed with caution. There's no telling what his wounded pride might compel him to attempt. There's gotta be a reason for that. Wonder what happens there. Is it a fate? Is it a quest? Alluring, isn't it? In more ways than one. Take my paring stone and hold it close to the glowing rock. Paring stones are natural magnets, and that's a meteorite filled with iron. One of many remnants of an ancient meteor shower. The heterogeneous ether they emit causes the surrounding flora to glow unique hues, as you can see. So these glowing boulders came plummeting down from the heavens? Vidral be merciful. There you are. Blue. It's all blue. A far cry from the upper forests, indeed. This place is already so fascinating. I'm eager to hear what the people of Mumuk can tell us about it. Keep running, we're almost there. As this is also my first time visiting Mumuk, I have no experience interacting with the locals. But given Hunmu Rook's parting words, I advise a cautionary approach. Finally, Mumuk, Woklama is eager to make progress. Well, we all know what comes next. Let's find that elector. Two streets seem to converge upon this plaza, so I propose we split our numbers between them. Given Hunmu Rook's guidance, I'll suggest that we err on the side of caution and move throughout the city in pairs. Aaronville can come with me, and Alice can go with Cryo. That leaves Kieran to accompany Woklama. These arrangements are to everyone's satisfaction, then may our respective searches prove fruitful. Well, that's rude. Please tell me you've had better luck. No one will talk to you either. I was prepared for hard stares and harsh words, but this is something else. The building there looks like a shop, doesn't it? Let's go and take a look. A merchant wouldn't ignore us, surely. Hello there. We'd like to ask you something if you don't mind. Move along, outsiders. We're just trying to find someone. The dawnservant's elector. Could you tell us where they are? How are we supposed to find the elector if nobody will even speak with us? Everyone, can you hear me? Come to the massive stone structure on the west side of the city as quickly as you can.
Up there.
Bested by a mere shade.
Zerolja? Papa?
Not as you know him. What you see is an arcane manifestation of the dawnservant as he was in his prime.
The channeler is Zerelja, Autarch of Mamuk and Elector for the feet of the Brotherhood.
Tuli Yolal's mightiest warrior, yet wisest you are not. You, who spurned your retainer's aid when battering your betters.
To prove oneself superior to blessed siblings by surpassing the shade of Galul Jar Jar himself. That is the final feat. The first promise fought alone and fell short, but that is now the least of his concerns.
You could have let your foolishness end with your failure. But instead, you attempted to harm an anointed elector. Soralja, as of this moment, you are no longer a claimant. I disqualify you from the right of succession. Be gone from my sight.
They're scheming something up.
This isn't over yet. I will be the one to reach the Golden City.
When Zorolcha was defeated, he tried to take the keystone by force, but he was thwarted by Father Shade.
My dearest child, welcome home. This feat was made for you. Only blessed siblings could hope to defeat Gulul Jaja. But ere we begin, I would see the fruits of your triumphs. Come, show me your tablets. What is this? Where are your keystones?
He didn't earn them.
Explain yourself, boy! No matter. Not all can be expected to go to plan. What keystones you lack, you can easily take.
Uh-huh. That's what he tried to do.
I tried. But I couldn't. I cannot beat her.
You mean to tell me that you, glory of Mamuk, for whom all here have sacrificed, were defeated by your inferiors? You are as useless as your siblings. A failure. Leave and never return! You have no place here!
That is harsh.
Let's go, brother.
Worthless! Pathetic! This was our chance to claim sovereignty, and he ruins it! But when these stragglers fail, Gulul Jaja will be forced to extend his rule. And in the next rite of succession, we will present a better claimant. So come, stand before me, and fall.
I won't do your trial.
Oh? You intend to forfeit the right?
Papa wants his successor to intimately understand the country he loves. Every step of my journey, I've learned something about our peoples and their cultures. I would do the same here in Mamuk. The Mamulja deserve nothing less, so your battle can wait.
I'm of the same mind. Father named you an elector for a reason. There must be something that he would have us learn.
Do as you will. But until you triumph over the Shade, you shall proceed no further.
Promise.
I would speak with you. Meet me on the western outskirts.
The lectures we have met thus far have all had their peculiarities, but each we felt would judge claimants equally. This is a real Ja, however, seems set in his belief that only blessed siblings are worthy of the throne. Why would the dawnservant name an openly biased man elector? Running over to the real Ja won't get us anywhere. That lady, on the other hand, was the first person to address us with any civility since we arrived. We should go and meet her, hear what she has to say. The western outskirts, right? Yeah, she was not happy about the whole, pretty much the entire events, except for the fact that both Waklama and Kuana were like, no, there's something here we need to learn first, some lesson. Here we may talk freely, away from prying eyes. What was it you wish to talk about? Tell me, what do you think of Mamook? Well, we don't have much to say yet. No one wants to speak with us. All who remain in the city are devoted to the traditional ways. They believe that blessed siblings are superior, that only they are worthy to lead the peoples of this continent. Most would not deign to address outsiders, deeming them beneath notice. Sounds like an ideal community so far as Baku Jaja is concerned. I am tired, exhausted by this nonsense, or this senselessness. There are others like me, but we dare not speak our truth aloud. Yet now we have an opportunity to reclaim our agency. For you have bested Baku Jaja. You, as Raw, inferior by all presumptions, triumphed over our two-headed champion. This time anyway. Next time I might not be so lucky. Baku Jaja is just that strong. I seriously don't understand why he cheats so much. It seems to me he'd do better if he trusted his own abilities. He's desperate. Other blessed siblings have fallen before. Mullah Jaja of the Silver Scales, for one. He traveled across the salt in search of conquest, only to be overcome. But no matter how the individual may falter, the people will still believe in blessed siblings' supremacy. Because of my father. He who united Tyrell under one rule, who in their eyes stands as testament to the tradition's infallibility. Regardless of your father's virtuous intent, his greatest triumph has only fanned the flames of our people's obsession. However, as both his daughter and claimant to his legacy, your triumph could prove that Galul Jaja's true strength lies not in his birth, but in his character, and in so doing, you may give us the strength to renounce blessed siblings forever. I can understand wanting to forsake zealotry, but isn't forsaking two-headed Mumujal going a bit far? You must decide that for yourself, whether price we pay is worth an empty dream. I mean, to a certain extent, it really probably isn't. Well, Jha has something to show you. There's a place that will help you understand our plight. It lies far to the west of here. Follow me. It is a really beautiful place. It reminds me of that underground area with all the fungus in Baldur's Gate 3. Is that a meteorite up there? Aye, and judging by their attachment, that tree must benefit from the meteorite's unique ether. Anyway, we should press on. Mulal Jha was anxious for us to see whatever it is she has to show us. A hunting camp like as not. I'd love to talk to Momujal hunters and learn about their ways, except they'd probably ignore me. The others will continue on. Let's catch up to them. This is the place you wanted to show us. It lies just beyond this passage. Entry to these grounds is not permitted even to the devout. Nonetheless, I would reveal our secrets to you. Rest assured, I shall take full responsibility. Come, see for yourself the truth of the blessed.
I shouldn't have looked down.
The stone pier yonder. That is our destination.
To erect it there would have been no small feat.
The work of Yakui hands built long, long ago. Our forebears merely altered the entrance.
Altered? To what end?
It will be quicker to show you. We have beasts that can carry us below.
Ugh.
A cool cha-cha.
What? Couldn't wait to laugh at the failure?
You've always come here to cry. Ever since you were little.
Mother!
The third promise seeks to learn about Mamuk. She may be our chance to finally end what we have been powerless to stop. Talk with her. Tell her what we have done.
Fine. Perhaps it's only right that we be the ones to speak of it. Blessed as we are. Here. This vessel holds the remains of a two-headed Mabonja. An infant. We converted the ruins into a cenotaph, so the souls of these children wouldn't return as vengeful spirits.
Great.
Do you know how blessed siblings are made?
I've heard that they are born to Hubago and Bunawa parents.
Such unions between clans were originally arranged to stop infighting. The war against the Shibral was going poorly, and we needed to be united. Then, one day, a child was born. One blessed with two heads and tremendous power.
When this child grew old enough to lead our army, we became unstoppable. The Shibral had no answer, and we drove them all the way back to the trees above. That taste of victory awakened our greed. We became obsessed with conceiving more and more of these superior children. No matter the cost.
Ugh.
Of the countless born, Most die. Trapped in their ships. Only 1 in 100 survive. If we are blessed, it is only because we yet live. Unlike our brothers and sisters, who were sacrificed for the glory of Mamuk.
That's horrible.
Of course it's horrible. It's an atrocity we can never take back. Those children died so that we could live. So we had to succeed, no matter what. To fail would mean it was all for nothing. Nothing. But I did fail. I squandered their sacrifice. I should never have been born.
You're wrong. You didn't ask to be born as you are, and you aren't responsible for your siblings' deaths.
She has the right of it.
The people obsessed with blessed siblings are. They made their choices, but they don't make yours. Since when do you let others push you around Bakul Jaja? What do you want? Say it!
I want it to end. I don't want any more to die.
Then you have my word. We'll put a stop to this madness.
Blessed siblings are revered by their supporters as a means to achieve dominance in Taral. If we understand why they harbor such aspirations in the first place, we would be better equipped to treat with them.
Indeed. I just hope they will be open to discourse.
I don't think that's going to change.
Take me with you. Those fanatics treat my words as gospel.
No. There will be trouble if your father finds out you're still here. Moshutural Zush. There we will gather the people and ask anything the Third Promise wishes to know.
Then take one of my scales. One that blends the Hubico and Bunewa coloring. It'll serve as proof that you have our trust. People will do as you say.
It's kind of interesting how quickly he turns from villain to friend.
I'm sorry for what I've said and done. I don't expect your forgiveness.
You had your reasons. I'm glad I could know them. Which is to say, you're not a complete alpaca's ass.
Thanks, Wuklama.
Well, maybe it's for the best. Hatred is exhausting, after all.
Indeed. So let us make the most of our newfound friendship and bring together the people of Mamuk. We have much to discover.
Hey, before we join the others, can we talk for a moment? I really hate him, you know, Baku Jaja, every fiber of my being. He tried to ruin Ihana, sabotage us on the river, kidnapped me for my keystone, and release the most vicious Torel Vidrell of all time. Anything he could do to cause us pain, he did. Never in a million years would I forgive him. But the moment I understood why he did what he did, pain he's been carrying this whole time, all my anger just evaporated. I hear you. Bako Jaja's motives don't absolve him of his crimes. He must answer for them like anyone else. But right now, my duty is to ensure that no one in Mamuk feels desperate enough to go to such lengths ever again. Anyway, thanks for listening. Now that I've voiced that, I feel readier for the challenges ahead. Come on, let's head back to the city. Okay, it is unfortunately after 3 a.m. I need to get some sleep, so we're going to finish up this quest and then call it a night. Baku Jaja's skill represents his faith in us. We won't fail him or his people. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us here today for tonight's stream. Till next time, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening.